morning. Hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading on finances for 2023. Now this is an area that is affecting everybody globally. So I thought it would be good if I came on and just touched base and see if anything comes up to help guide us through the huge financial crisis. Oh, sorry guys. Collapse. Because everyone's exhausted from it, clearly, because it's continuing on and on and on. Now, we know the purpose of all this is to squash the little people down and take them down to nothing, because that's part of the reset agenda. John, you and I were talking last night about, I always question, why do they need to put the interest rates up? I find it very confusing myself. I'm not a finance expert. Because they say it has to, is it curb the spending, which is happening here in Australia. People aren't spending as much. And sadly, like I said to you, John, small business is starting to be taken down yet again. They're the ones being affected because people can't afford to, get a coffee or go and buy those extra bits of clothing and a pair of shoes, or people are cutting back and it's affecting small business. So I do get confused. It seems like the only people to gain from rate rises and all this stuff is, of course, government. But, John, maybe you can clarify a bit of that, because I do find it very confusing, as I'm sure a lot of my viewers who are tired and exhausted from this as well find it very confusing. All right, I'll close my eyes, guys. We'll get started. If you are new, please subscribe. Hit those like buttons, guys, and please comment down below. We all chat to each other here on my channel. And it's great. You guys are awesome at keeping everybody in the loop. We all let each other know what's going on where we're living, because we don't see anything on mainstream media, as we all know. So unless we share that info, pretty hard to find it anywhere. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, I'm just getting the global economies on the downward slide. They're showing me a graph, and the economy is just going down, 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 down. Hang on. I'm getting that some shares are going up. I think we all know which shares have been going up in the last 3 years, i.e. maybe Big Pharma and Pfizer and a few of these kind of things. Some certain specific shares are on the rise. I am getting that. It's very specific. They're saying that shares is a very fickle one. It's hot and cold. And the guys are kind of saying you have to really know what you're doing. Oh, God, sorry, guys. Tired energy. People are tired from all this financial crap, see? But to have shares, you've got to really know what you're doing. Oh, I'd say you have to be in the loop, or you're not going to make any money out of shares this year. So you have to be very smart. Oh, God. Oh, that's what my husband said the other day. He goes, just jokingly, obviously. He goes, let's get some Pfizer shares. We know that's guaranteed win. You do have to laugh about it. It's that bloody idiotic, isn't it, guys? Oh. All right, let's keep going. They're showing me Trudeau, and I'm getting this, I think it's what Cotton Schwab Klaus is always saying, the stakeholder capitals. I'm getting this for Canada. I'm getting this for Trudeau. The systems are going to start changing financially really quickly in Canada. I do feel like he's getting it all sorted now. We know he would be. He's always trying to get up the ladder first, isn't he, Trudeau? So financially, he always has to be one of the first, doesn't he, to implement things. So I'm getting this stakeholder capitals in Canada. I don't know much about finance, guys, so bear with me. You guys probably know more than I do, but I just tell you whatever comes through the stakeholder capital. That's what I'm getting. So I'm guessing that's whoever's involved in that are going to be the ones that are going to make the big bucks. Hang on a minute. Oh, yeah, and of course we're getting now that the little people are going to be offered all the packages. This is globally. Everyone's going to start to get offered their wonderful packages by government. This is going to start to become really obvious. Actually, it's funny because I just saw a Commonwealth Bank ad on TV, just briefly. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. And it had, there was just like alarm bells. Something went off in my brain. It was like this really strange ad. And it's like desensitizing us to the apps, I think. And it had all the picture of the app with all the headings on it. I'm just starting to see ads, and I'm sure you guys are starting to see it too. To me, they're seed planting around the economy and how things are going to change and start shifting now, and how the new systems are going to be set up. They're putting in these visuals. So I'm thinking when these things pop up on our phones and, do this, in order to get to your account, you're going to have to go through this process. I feel like there's a lot more of that starting to happen. The desensitizing. Not mass psychosis. That's not what this is. This is different. This is seed planting. Mainstream media, of course, is going to start to plant seeds and try it. See, they do this all the time. They try to normalise everything. It's like all the side effects. Normalise, shingles ads and, heart attacks prevention and all this kind of stuff. They try to normalise it. So now there's going to be a lot of normalising around financial headings and it words. Speaking of It, the clown movie, they're going to use it words. And we know there's been a lot of it words that have been created in the past 3 years that have just like come out of nowhere, just been plucked from the sky and brought down to create the new earth that we know that they're trying to create. But I am getting that. It's the planting of the seeds and the desensitizing people to things financially. Oh, so there might be a lot of new wording around finances too. You know how we've got the new wording around everything like the LGBTQ and all this kind of stuff? Well, I feel like there's going to be new vocabulary around finances as well. Not sure what they're going to be, but I think we're going to go down that road now. I reckon this could be around the categorising of people financially, like what you're doing and what you're earning. Like, this is the credit point scoring system. I hope this makes sense. But it's like you're going to be labelled, like you're going to get labelled into like different categories. I just keep getting that. So if you've got an electric car, for example, and your emissions are very good, then we know that's going to all be linked to your bank accounts and all this kind of stuff. Then you're going to get a special label. Like you might get the gold. It could be that it's just simply bronze, silver and gold again. We talk about that a lot here. But you could, it's almost like your insurance. Sometimes if you haven't had an incident or you've got a very good sort of rating with your insurance, you get the gold discount or you get the gold pass where you get all the extra things. I feel like this is how it's going to work financially. It's the reward system. Basically, it's the reward system. We knew it was coming. We knew it was always going to happen, but this is how they're going to do it. They're going to have a new vocabulary as well. Oh, there's so many new things. I can't even get my head around it, guys. Someone was talking on YouTube or something the other day I was on, and they were talking about the LGBTQ, but the non-binary, and then the this, and then they called him instead of he, and then they were in trouble because they used the wrong words. Actually, it was Rita off Sky News here, and Sky News calls everything out pretty much in Australia. So this is what's going to start happening with the banking systems. That I feel like there's a new dictionary, Wikipedia, or whatever you want to call it, Google search. But there's a whole series of words to come around the banking credit scoring system. This just doesn't end, does it? I wish people would hurry up and wake up. This is driving us crazy. All right, hang on, let's see where else we go. God, they're showing me money, like cash money, just washing down the drain, just like going down stormwater drain, down the gutters, into the stormwater drain and out to sea. So that to me is an indication of cash becoming a real thing of the past. This is going to be, I reckon, the year where things start to shift with cash. They're going to well, we know they're already hitting. We know Canada, England, they're really trying to roll out the digital. There was a video I saw last night, actually, of the 15-minute cities, and it said time journey or something, measuring or monitoring, that was it. Time journey monitoring or something like that in England. Some of these suburbs, all the signs are going up, the cameras are going up. And like the guy actually said on there, he said, you know, people don't realise because they just think it's a speed camera or something, they drive straight past it, not realising they're being digitally, you know, credit scored as to how far you've travelled, what you can earn, your little brownie points on the monetary financial systems. So this is going to be all interlinked, but there's going to be the new vocabulary, and I guess that's an example of it too, is that time journey monitoring. But little do people know that that's going to be linked to their finances and their bank account and what they can and can't do and how much you're allowed to get out for the day. You know, I feel like cash is just going down the stormwater drain and out to sea. That's just what I'm getting. So this could be the year where that starts to phase out. I don't know how they can do that. I guess you would have to, like, just go cold turkey and get rid of cash. I don't know how they could do that, because you think you'd have to have some sort of transitional period. But they're doing it nonetheless. It's so weird, isn't it? It just feels so weird, all this. It really does. All right. Well, we know there's already cashless banks and everything, don't we? I went to a cashless bank, like I told you guys. I went to a national bank here probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and I couldn't even get my money out. And I didn't have a card linking my account. It was just a savings account. Couldn't even get my own money out because I didn't have a card, and I was in a whole different state. Like, I was up the Gold Coast. So, you know, luckily I was with my sister and I could borrow money off her. But this is what's going to happen. It's going to start to get really difficult for people, which is what they want. They want to make it as hard as they can for the little people. And they're doing a good job. And that was years ago. That was a cashless bank. It's so weird. So I would say they've probably been working on these things for quite a while, implementing behind the scenes. We know how it goes. Gosh, I mean, a lot of you guys here, and as we all know, a lot of these things have been worked on for many, many years, over 10 years or more, that they've been... Oh, we know Bill Gates has been around the traps for a while doing a lot of things in the background. So I think financially it's going to be a big year of change and shift. And not in a good way. It's going to just cripple people. This is cruel what's coming. It is. All right. Let's see what else we get. God, I'm getting this warning for us probably, or for anyone. Stranger danger, meaning it's like don't trust a stranger. So if someone's trying to con you into getting a big loan, extending your loans, don't fall for the traps of the packages. I think this is what the guides are saying too. These government housing packages will help you financially. You know, we're going to flick out the life raft to you, or the little life buoy, and we're going to save you. This is a government, and this would be financial packages. Be very aware of it. Stranger danger is what the guides are saying. Don't fall for any of those traps, because there's always the fine print. And I think anyone, and most of us know, when you read the fine print, it's not good. There's usually lots of traps in there. So if you miss one payment, then you get a fine. You know, it's like that. And then you're going to have to pay a certain percentage on top of that because you haven't made your payment. It's going to get very complicated. But as we know, in the computer world, all this can just be done and just clocked up. You know, it's not hard, is it? God, the banks don't miss a trick, do they? They add on your interest and all that very quickly. So there's going to be more of that. So, read the fine print, stranger danger is what I'm getting for any wonderful packages that might be coming out by your government. Oh yes, your trustworthy government. And why wouldn't you trust your government? Exactly. Okay, let's see where else we go today with finances. Oh, greed's just taking over. Greed's just dominating these global elites' life. It's all greed, power and money. We know that it is. Gosh, that RBA minister or whoever he is that's been putting up the interest rate rises in Australia. I know you guys are having them too. We've had 9 now. Oh yes, 9 lovely interest rate rises and many more to come. They're saying there could be a few more. Oh, I don't doubt it. So apparently he's due to come up to for his position in September, and they're saying, oh, I don't think he'll stay on. And I'm thinking, no, I don't think he will either, because he's got his big payout. He did what they wanted to do, and he'll be off with his payout. See, the greed, they'll do anything for money, and it's the greed. I can't believe these people just turn on their own countries and dump all the little people in it and just take their money and run. There's been so many people here in Australia that have done that. Gladys Berejiklian, Gunner, is it? What was his name? The Premier of, was it Northern Territory? All these people, I could even name heaps more, I just can't think offhand. They all just take their money and run. Oh, bye everyone. I'll implement what I need to, and then reminder, yes, Jacinda. Yeah, Jacinda Ardern. I don't think for 1 second she didn't get a good, decent payout from getting all jabs in arms and everything. Like, such a dodgy. It's all about greed and money. Okay, I'll see if there's something else to close with around finances today. God, I'm getting the greenback. That's American, isn't it? Isn't that what you call your money or something over there? I'm not quite sure. The greenback is losing value. That's just what I'm getting. I think you guys have got the Super Bowl today. I think Rihanna's playing in it, isn't she? I know that's a big event. I think there's an Aussie guy actually playing in that. He's a big guy. I don't know his name. So I am getting that, the greenback's losing value, which is meaning cash is probably losing its value. Hang on a minute. See, this is what they're going to do. They keep saying like the cyber sleuths and cyber criminals, and like, I'm just getting all this like cyber world talk about all the attacks. That's how they're gonna implement their finances, is what the guides are saying. If you want your information to be safe, you must have a digital ID. That's what they're gonna come out with. That's it. That's the financial plan for this year. Digital ID. And if you haven't got that, then you're not safe and you're going to get, which is probably the opposite actually, because we know getting all your stuff on the digital platforms leaves you open to hackers. It happens. Look at what happened recently here in Australia with the Optus and Medibank, and all the data went everywhere, but as I always think, and I know you guys too, being the BS detectors that we are, do these things happen so that it scares the crap out of everyone and puts fear in everybody, and then they go, yes, I better get my digital ID because I don't want to get hacked like the people that were with Optus and Medibank? I mean, we know how it works. It's like, if we do this, scare people, then we can do that. It's much easier if you scare people half to death, isn't it? It's just terrible what they're doing to people. Makes me so sick. So, yes, if you want your data safe, you're going to have to implement the digital ID passport. That'll be great. Oh, no, it's coming. They're really going to push that this year. And that's globally everywhere. Oh, we know Trudeau's already working on it, isn't he? Hang on a minute. Oh, that That's what I was going to say to you guys. I just have to say it while I think of it. I did hear that Trudeau, yes, shot down a unidentified flying object. Isn't he amazing? They seem to be popping up everywhere, don't they? America. Oh, I think there's been a couple actually over America and Canada. So they're putting the fear in people too. So the more you put fear in people that, you know, there could be war or something really terrible, the more they're going to listen to you, aren't they? Hence the digital IDs and make everything safe. So I did giggle at that when he was taking care of an unidentified flying object. God would feel safer with the bloody unidentified object, wouldn't we? Especially if it was aliens or something like that, but they didn't discuss what it was. They've got to take it down and assess and investigate it further. So everyone in Canada must feel very safe now. So the more they put fear in people, it makes people want to trust their government, doesn't it? It's all just trickery, smoke and mirrors, the more of the clown show, as we know. Every time we hear something like that, guys, it just makes us laugh, doesn't it? But it means it's easier for them to try and implement things because people fall for it. We know they fall for it. Look at the jab wheel. And then they can use the digital ID and get more control, and the country's not going to get attacked by, you know, that terrible so-called China, and as an example. So that's what is going on. They're really pushing this digital ID, which is the financial control. We knew it was always coming. This is the year they're going to start doing it. And that's why I think more people are going to stand up. Ooh. Because someone said it very, very early on to me, it's about finances. When they start to hit people's finances, that's when people stand up because they've got nothing to lose. What are they going to do? Just sit back and just live in the streets and be a homeless person, or stand up and fight back for some human rights? That's where we're at now. Hang on a sec, I'll see if there's something to close. And see, this is the trap, that's what the guides are saying with this government housing schemes and the things that they're starting to set up and implement in the capitals and these kind of things. The government's going to be controlling this people's money. It feels like government's going to have control. We know they have control of everything, but they're going to have control of people's money. Like, they're going to talk people into part of the packages. Your wages go into our account, and then we'll, delegate what you spend it on. So it's like the government's going to set up this scheme where they're going to budget for you. So they'll take your rent, they'll give you this amount for food, they'll give you this amount for fuel, they'll give you this amount, and they're your budgets. And you might get, if you're lucky, a tiny little bit for chocolate bars, things like that, all the essential things. But that's what I'm getting. They're going to have these. It's like a budgeting provider. I'm just getting this word like budgeting provider. See, this will be part of the new world. There'll be all these little packages offered to people. We can provide a budgeting provider if you're really struggling. We have people who are experts who can actually sort out your finances for you. We know what they're sorting out their own finances, the elites, these government leaders. But I do feel like that's where we're sort of heading. And so there'll be always, like I said, new terminology to do with finances and budgeting and planning, and that they're going to help you. It's all for the greater good. They're going to help you. We know how helpful government can be. So hence again, I'm getting stranger danger. Be very careful moving forward, guys. We need to stay as independent. Oh my God, we're even tired from this. This is crazy. We even have to stay independent financially. But see, a lot of us have got back to our basic resources, haven't we? I went and bought some honey off someone who's growing local honey the other day. It was great. It was like $10 for a jar, and it's supposed to be good with hay fever and all that if you eat the local honey. So I always try and support people's little cash businesses. And of course it was a cash exchange. You know, this is the great part about it. You know, I've got a friend that gives me eggs all the time. Lucky me, because I know how rare eggs are getting. Oh, God. And she's fantastic. She gives us eggs and she's a very giving person. But, you know, this is the kind of stuff that we're all starting to get more proactive with. We're sharing. Sharing is caring. And like these greedy leaders and that are just taking and taking. Not only taking from the little people, but taking financially as well and taking their money and running. Yeah. All right, well, that's what I'm going to leave you with today. That's just a little bit on the finances. We're going to have, I think, a new vocabulary around all of this and a lot of lovely packages offered. The bronze, silver and gold packages are still on the horizon, ready to be rolled out. And you can, and don't forget, you can get your budgeting help if you need it from government. That'll be very helpful, won't it? Oh my God. Anyway, what is happening here, guys? It's just craziness. 2023, woo, what an interesting year. Like that song we got yesterday, that Run DMC. It's like that, and that's the way it is. But we got to stay out of that, then that's the way it is. All right, take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. I'll come on and do a daily reading a bit later with my doggos, and I'll say goodbye from Australia. Bye, everyone. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone. Bye.